Welcome back to John Chen and David Chicken Wings podcast. I am the host, John, and my co-host, David.
Hey.
And today we are going to discuss one of the biggest political stories in Alberta right now, the possibility of Alberta separating from Canada as its own country.
Wait, I'll be honest. I'm kind of confused. Are you saying that Alberta is going to vote to separate from Canada this year?
That's a great question. And no, it is a common misconception that Albertans are voting to separate from Canada. Instead, they're voting on starting the legal process that may lead to a binding vote on separation.
So they're voting to see if they are going to have another vote?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's extremely confusing.
You're not alone. According to a recent CBC article, many Albertans may find the original question confusing.
Phew, that's a relief. I thought I was just stupid.
Well,
What?
never mind. Anyways, today we are going to explain what's happening, who's involved, why it matters, and we are also going to have a few special guests later on. So let's start with the basics. What's actually going on? The Alberta Premier, Danielle Smith, announced that Alberta will vote on October 19th, 2026.
So this is happening really soon?
Yes, that's right.
Why is this happening now?
A group of Albertans who support independence collected more than 300,000 signatures asking for a referendum on separation.
What the heck is a referendum?
It's pretty much just a vote.
Ah, I see.
One thing about the process, though, is that Indigenous First Nations weren't properly consulted during the process.
So then what happened?
Well, Danielle Smith announced that Albertans would still get to vote on the issue in October.
But I thought Danielle Smith didn't want Alberta to separate.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, but here's my biggest question. Why do some people even want Alberta to leave Canada?
One of the biggest reasons is something called Western alienation.
What does that even mean?
Western alienation is the feeling that Western provinces like Alberta don't have enough influence in Ottawa and that their concerns are often ignored.
So they feel left out? Exactly. Anything else? Yes, many supporters of separation are frustrated with federal environmental policies that affect Alberta's oil and gas industry. Because Alberta makes a lot of money from gas. Correct. Some people believe federal policies make it harder for Alberta's economy to grow. So some Albertans think they'd be better off making their own decisions. That's what they say. So who exactly are the main people involved? Well, there's Danielle Smith, Alberta's Premier. She's organizing the vote, but wants Alberta to stay. Okay, who else? Prime Minister Mark Carney supports keeping Canada united. Obviously. Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre also supports Canadian unity. Ah, I see. Then there are people who support Alberta independence, and also people who support Alberta staying a part of Canada. Wow, that's crazy. So it's basically a battle between independence and staying? That's sure right. And speaking of staying, joining us now is Alberta Premier Danielle Smith.
Thanks for having me.
Premier Smith, it's great to have you here, and I have to ask, if you want Alberta to stay in Canada, why are we voting on this at all?
Because many Albertans feel strongly about this issue. Even though I support staying in Canada, I believe people deserve the opportunity to express their opinions.
So you're basically saying that everyone should get a voice, even if you disagree with them.
That's correct, Mr. Chen.
What would you say to Albertans who support separation?
I understand many of their frustrations, especially regarding Alberta's relationship with the federal government. However, I believe Alberta can achieve its goals while remaining part of Canada.
So you are going to vote to stay, correct?
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's all of our questions for you. Thank you for joining us, Danielle.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Chen and Mr. Chicken Wing.
Okay, I understand her position now.
What do you think?
It seems she's trying to keep both sides happy. It must be hard being someone who represents a whole province.
Some people would agree with that.
And just now, we are joined by Jeff Rath, an Alberta separatist.
Thank you for having me.
All right, tell me, why do you think Alberta should separate?
Many Albertans believe the province contributes a great deal to Canada, but doesn't receive enough influence in return. We think Alberta should have more control over its own future.
What kind of control?
Decisions involving taxes, natural resources, and economic policy.
So supporters think Alberta could make better decisions for itself.
That's what we believe.
But what about the risks that come with separation?
Any major political change comes with risks, but supporters believe Alberta has the resources and economy to succeed independently.
Well, that's about it. Thank you for joining us, Jeff.
Thank you.
So, what does the average Albertan think?
According to a recent poll, most Albertans want to stay in Canada, with about 70% voting to stay and around 30% wanting to leave.
Wow, this is crazy. This kind of reminds me of grade 9 social studies.
What about it does?
Well, in our first chapter that we did, which was Canada's political system, we had learnt about federal, provincial, and municipal government.
Well, that definitely ties into our topic today.
Also, something else I was wondering about. What do different people in Alberta think about this?
That's a good question. Well, let's start with the separatists. They believe Alberta should have more control over its economy, resources, and political decisions, as Jeff stated earlier.
What about the people who want to stay?
They believe Alberta benefits from being part of Canada through economic stability, national programs, and shared citizenship.
Ah, I see now.
But wait, there's one more group we are missing.
Who?
Indigenous communities. They believe that treaties and constitutional rights could be affected by separation.
Geez, there are more viewpoints than I thought. But what caused this issue?
Some main reasons are Western alienation, frustration with federal policies, and disagreements over resource development are some major causes.
What could happen if Alberta separated?
There could be major economic, political, and legal consequences, such as trade, borders, healthcare, Indigenous treaties, and Alberta's relationship with Canada.
So basically, everyone will be affected by this. And thinking about that, who benefits from it?
Supporters believe that Alberta would gain more control over decisions involving taxes, resources, and economic policy.
So what's the main takeaway from this?
Alberta is holding a vote this October about whether the province should begin the legal process that could eventually lead to a vote on separation.
Don't forget, most Albertans currently want to stay in Canada.
But a significant amount of people in Alberta believe that Alberta would be better off with more independence or full separation.
No matter which side someone supports, this issue raises important questions about democracy, citizenship, government power, and Alberta's future.
Exactly.
Also, I finally understand what's happening. I told you I wasn't dumb.
Yeah, sure, whatever you say. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Make sure to tune in next episode for more political talks.
Wait, before you go, let me leave you with these questions. How does Alberta separating from Canada affect the oil industry in Canada? And what right and freedom do Canadian citizens have that help people have a voice in this issue? Anyways, have a good one, folks.
Bring me into golden sunlight.